Welcome to our third P, the P for promotion. And the same way that at the beginning of the semester I emphasized that marketing is a much broader concept than advertisement, I also want you to understand that promotion is also a much broader concept than advertisement. What do I mean by that? Let's start by defining what we mean by promotion. And let me bring your attention to this bag of tools, right? Think of yourself as a handyman that wants to communicate the value proposition, customer and stakeholders. So you have a set of tools within the promotion mix that is going to help you to achieve your communication goals. So we're talking not just about advertisement that is here in this continuum, but a number of tools such as self-promotion, personal selling, direct marketing, PR, and of course word of mouth. And I want you to start asking yourself what the high means when we say advertise is high in this continuum and what low mean. But basically it's the idea that in advertisement the marketer retains a lot of control. Okay, and as we go through the continuum, we're going to see that PR and even word of mouth, the control that the marketer has is lower. Okay, and we'll see later why. But we call this set of tool integrated marketing communication because the important thing to remember is the consumer see a number of messages from the firm as a whole. The consumer doesn't matter if one communication from an important brand such as Bank of America is coming from the advertisement department or is coming more from the sales group. They just see one single brand, so the message have to be uniform across the different tools that the marketer use. So hopefully you have seen this structure of the communication model in other classes, but the brands, they put their campaigns out and they obviously have an intended meaning, but what happened by the time the consumer here receives that message, what he's actually receiving is a perceived meaning. And as I say here, there is a lot of gap and noise in this process from the sender that it wants to say all the way through the receiver. And another important thing to understand within the world of promotion is that we are living very interesting times. And I think it was only 7 years ago when I first started teaching these classes, and most of the emphasis was put in mass media and the traditional vehicles to communicate the message by the brands like radio and TV and print media. But more and more, we are seeing a shift into the non-traditional media and especially into the digital social media. And some of the reason is because it's obviously more affordable. It's also breaking through the noise and getting to the consumers in a more impactful way. And as we will see in digital social media, it's very fast and easy to implement and easier to measure. The metrics are easy to review. So in every single effort we do within the communication effort, it could be just for an advertising campaign or it could be for a social media campaign, we need to define these key components. We have to define the goals. What is that we're trying to achieve with the campaign? Are we looking to create awareness or to inform the market because it's a new product, or we want to create desire, or we might have included a call to action and try to encourage purchase and trial. And of course, we might also decide that what we're trying to do is just build loyalty. Okay, we also have to have a clear budget, no money, no honey. So if we don't know how much we have to spend, none of the steps we take, in the following section will make sense. We also need to remember to be very clear what audience we are going to talk to. Okay, it's not the same, to try to talk to a segment of kids or a segment of parents or some demographics that have some specific attitude or lifestyle. So remember everything we learn in segmentation, how we separate the consumer market into smaller groups, and be clear, who you want to talk to in your communication. And then push and pull that we will see briefly. I want you to be clear on those two concepts. And then the message, okay? This is actually what is that we want our consumer to remember. What are those key value proposition that we are putting in front of the consumer. And this, which is what people usually just think when they are thinking about promotion and communication, this is when we actually define what vehicles, what media. I mean, are we using advertisement for our goals, or are we using a direct marketing campaign? Okay, this only comes when we have a clear understanding of our goals, our budget, who are we talking, what is that we want to say yes. Now is when we decide how we're going to talk to them. And of course, like in every single thing we do in marketing, at the end, we want to establish those metrics that allow us to realize if we're achieving those initial goals. So we close the loop here by doing the analysis of our metrics to see if we're getting to our goals. And you ask this question constantly: are communication objective adequately translated into marketing communication that is reaching the right target market? And I know it's a lot of right there, but again, don't think when someone asks you, can you help me with my communication strategy, it's easy to just jump and say, let's put an ad in this journal. But no, you have to start by defining what is that we're going to achieve, how much money we have, who do we want to talk to, what will be the message, and then with this later, define the vehicles. Pretty quick on the budget. The book has a lot of information, but there are two main ways to define how much money you can or you want to spend. And one will be the top-down approach. We look into the numbers that we spent last year, and then we just decided to increase maybe versus a percentage of last year's sales. Last year we sell 100, we are spending 10% of our total sales in marketing, and this year we might increase 1 point, so we'll be spending 11,000 this year. And just to give you an idea, I'm including some ad to sales ratios based on the industry average. So if you are in the food industry, just so you know, like 12% of the annual sales are actually spent in promotion. And we have other industries. It's very interesting. Health companies, pay attention when you're watching TV or radio, or you got a magazine in your hands. There's a lot of advertisement, promotion, and effort for health service companies, up to almost 90%. Okay. Another approach, which is the bottom up, and this is ideal if you actually don't have a cash problem, is to do the bottom up. You actually define what is that you want to do, what are the individual activities you want to do, and you see how much that's going to cost you. Okay, and in this case, I'm relating and making the connection with the product life cycle. Just to give you an example, Procter & Gamble allocate 50 millions in this new product, Dawn Simple Pleasure, and yes, because it was in the introduction phase. So when you are breaking in and your brand is not yet, well known, you have to spend more money. And then in this example, for a product that is in a different phase in the life cycle, in this case Dawn Direct Phone, they spend between 10 and 12 millions. Again, because it was launched a few years before that one. Push versus pull, very important concept. And just the idea is that in a push strategy, what you're trying to do, let's pretend we are the brands, right? We are Procter & Gamble or Unilever of the world. So we are concentrated our promotion and effort on the channel members. And by now, because we already covered that in distribution, you should understand that expression, the channel members. So we work with them through different promotional tools, such as either our sales force or trade promotion, and they will carry our product and they will push it into the end consumer. So that's a push strategy. We are forcing, that's probably not the right word, but we're putting the effort into the retailer. And this is a little bit different to a pull strategy, in which us, the brand, we are doing a promotional effort, such as TV, a traditional advertisement, targeting the consumer. That's our audience, because we want the consumers to learn about the product and walk into the stores and pull those products from the retailer. So very important, you will hear that expression, are you doing push versus pull? You need to understand who are they targeting the promotional efforts to the consumer or to the channel members. Let's start quick with advertisement. The important thing to remember in advertisement is that it's a pay way of do your communication strategy, and it's identify a sponsor. It's obviously it's clear to know who is paying. Okay. And then let me tell you different types. You can obviously concentrate and advertise the product, or it could be an advertisement that just concentrate on the brand or institutional level. If you think of all those Coca-Cola brands advertisement we see, many times you don't even see the product because they just want a reminder, to keep that loyalty out there that the brand is still obviously alive and creating good experience for the consumers. You may also see a type of advertisement that is more local and at retail level, and what we call is a do-it-yourself advertisement. Very interesting in the web, user-generated content. I'm sure you have seen that before when the brands actually are asking you, such as Doritos, that in the Super Bowl, to create the advertisement pieces for them. Very important advertising appeal. When you look into that piece of advertisement, again, on radio, on TV, or even on print media, you want to understand what is that they are using as that main appeal. And I'm just giving you some examples here. They might just concentrate in selling you like one USP, what is that thing that makes them different, or they might compare the product with competitor, or doing a demo, a slice of life that we see a lot obviously on TV, lifestyle, testimonials, no need to say, and both sex appeals and humorous appeal are widely used. I love that one. And then the question that you already, probably asking is, where can I say what I want to say? You can say it in traditional media, or you can say it obviously online. We'll spend some time talking online. Personal selling, very straightforward, is when a company representative, a person, interact with a consumer, and you're going to see that it do has a personal touch, and no need to say also there are a lot of good job opportunities for good salesmen. Personal selling is a broad topic. This is just a list of things that we will be looking in a 16 weeks course that we can obviously do in class. But I want you just to think why companies decide to use personal selling, okay? And because it's obviously more expensive to have a sales representative that nobody, right? And in the aisle, when you go to buy your cereals or your gums, how many times have you seen a cereal sales representative? So these are some of the reasons where personal selling will make more sense, okay? So please pause here and read in detail. And we discriminate in transactional selling, where the focus is really about, making the sales and move on. What we call relationship selling, where you focus on the long term and you're trying to identify the consumer needs. Okay, two very different approaches. Sales promotion, very quick. It's obviously could be targeting the end consumer or the channel's partners. I also want you to pause here and review this list, and you're going to find things that you have seen over and over. The sales promotion can be targeting again the channel member, or it could be trying to target the consumer. PR, very important. What is different about publicity is that pay tool within the promotional mix. Okay, you don't pay for publicity. You might pay a publicity agency, but you don't pay that agency to actually pay the media, the newspaper, where they're going to talk about your product. Okay, direct marketing is obviously when you put the information in front of the consumer. It could be an order, a request for the information, or just a call for action. And word of mouth, very interesting, because word of mouth has been around since we start trading. But what is different now is that thanks to internet, we can make a casting effort that gets to more audience. So this is just to give you an idea what companies get to do. They hire companies like This Agent, Fascinating, and they send these products to people's houses so they use it and talk on social media to their friends. Fascinating.